Number 32, New York Giants, rock bottom. That's where the Giants offense finds itself after Daniel Jones' second ACL tear in 18 months. The team declined to draft his replacement, leaving journeyman Drew Lock and 37-year-old Ryan Tannehill battling for the starting job. It's a quarterback room that screams 5'12". The offensive line remains a turnstile convention, despite investing 3 first-round picks in the unit since 2020. Their best lineman, Andrew Thomas, hasn't played a full season in 3 years. At skill positions, they're equally dire. After trading Saquon Barkley in 2023, they've cycled through 4 different lead backs. Rookie receiver Malik Neighbors shows promise, but can't overcome an offense that averaged just 14.3 points per game last season, dead last in the NFL. New offensive coordinator Thomas Brown is already on the hot seat after just 6 months on the job. Number 31. Carolina Panthers. The Bryce Young experiment is officially on life support. After posting the worst quarterback rating for a first overall pick in his first 2 seasons, Young enters 2025 with his 3rd head coach and 4th offensive coordinator. The Panthers' offensive line allowed 63 sacks last season, and their solution was signing 2 guards in their 30s. Their receiving core might be the NFL's worst after trading DJ Moore in the Young deal and watching Deontay Johnson leave in free agency. The lone bright spot is running back Chuba Hubbard, who somehow managed 1,100 yards behind this line. New offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey was fired midseason by the Bills in 2023, which tells you everything about Carolina's current trajectory. Their 2024 average of 16.8 points per game would be impressive for a soccer team, but in the NFL, it's a disaster. Number 30, New England Patriots. The post-Brady, post-Belichick era continues to be a football wasteland in New England. Rookie quarterback Drake May showed flashes in his 5 starts last season, but completed just 57% of his passes and took 22 sacks in those games. The Patriots' offensive line ranks 29th in pass block win rate, and their receiving core is headlined by Kendrick Bourne, who's coming off an ACL tear. Their best offensive weapon might be running back Ramondre Stevenson, but he's running behind an interior line that would struggle in the XFL. First-year offensive coordinator Alex Van Pelt is implementing his 4th different system in 4 years, and the results in preseason were concerning. Just 2 touchdowns in 36 possessions. The Patriots averaged 13.9 points per game last season, and there's little reason to expect significant improvement. Number 29, Denver Broncos. Bo Nix's rookie season was a roller coaster that ultimately crashed into the station. His 18 touchdowns against 17 interceptions tell the story of a quarterback still figuring out the NFL game. Denver's offensive line allowed 55 sacks last season, and they've done little to address the issue beyond drafting Oregon tackle Johnny Cornelius, who's already nursing a knee injury. Their receiving core is led by Cortland Sutton, who's publicly requested a trade 3 times in the past year. The running game is a committee approach featuring Javonte Williams, who hasn't looked the same since his 2022 knee injury. Head coach Sean Payton's offensive genius hasn't translated in Denver, where they averaged just 21.3 points per game last season, 19th in the league. The altitude might be high in Denver, but expectations for this offense should be considerably lower. Number 28, Tennessee Titans. Will Levis has a cannon arm and the decision-making of someone playing Madden after 4 beers. His 12-14 touchdown to interception ratio last season highlighted his boom or bust nature. The Titans' offensive line is in transition after allowing 64 sacks in 2024, second worst in the league. They invested heavily in Michigan center Zach Zinter, but rookie linemen rarely transform units immediately. At skill positions, they're top-heavy. DeAndre Hopkins remains productive at 33, but depth is concerning after Calvin Ridley's departure. Tony Pollard was a solid addition at running back, but averaged just 4.0 yards per carry last season, a career low. New offensive coordinator Nick Holtz comes from the college ranks with no NFL play calling experience. The Titans averaged 19.7 points per game last season, and their ceiling in 2025 looks similarly limited. Number 27, Las Vegas Raiders. The Gardner Minshew Aiden O'Connell quarterback battle is like choosing between gas station sushi and day-old pizza. Neither option inspires confidence. The Raiders' offensive line ranked 26th in ESPN's pass block win rate metric and and first-round pick Jackson Powers-Johnson is already dealing with a shoulder injury. Davante Adams remains elite but turns 33 this season, while Jakobi Meyers is a solid but unspectacular WR2. The bright spot is running back Zamir White, who averaged 4.7 yards per carry after Josh Jacobs' injury. Offensive coordinator Luke Getsy was fired by the Bears last season for his conservative approach with Justin Fields, which doesn't bode well for Vegas. The Raiders averaged 19.5 points per game in 2024, and with quarterback uncertainty, they could regress further in 2025. By the way, I'm going to be posting a lot here, so it would mean a lot if you subscribed and dropped a like for the algorithm. Number 26, Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray's return from ACL surgery last season was underwhelming. 18 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and a career-low 6.4 yards per attempt. The Cardinals' offensive line is middle of the pack, ranking 18th in run block win rate, but just 24th in pass protection. Their receiving core took a hit with Hollywood Brown's departure, leaving Marvin Harrison Jr. to carry the load as a second-year player. Tight end Trey McBride emerged as a reliable target, but the running game remains inconsistent with James Conner entering his age 30 season. Offensive coordinator Drew Petzing's scheme showed promise but lacked explosiveness, with Arizona ranking 25th in plays over 20 yards. The Cardinals averaged 21.2 points per game last season, and while Murray should improve in his second year post-ACL, this offense lacks the firepower to crack the top 20. Number 25, Indianapolis Colts. Anthony Richardson is the NFL's biggest wild card, a physical freak who started just 5 games in 2 seasons due to injuries. When healthy, he's shown both brilliance and bewilderment, completing just 54% of his passes but averaging 7.1 yards per rush. The Colts' offensive line is solid, anchored by Quentin Nelson, though they rank just 20th in pass block win rate. Their skill positions are uninspiring. Michael Pittman Jr. is dependable but not dynamic, while Jonathan Taylor hasn't matched his 2021 production in 3 seasons. Offensive coordinator Jim Bob Cooter has tailored his scheme to Richardson's strengths, but sustainability remains a question. The Colts averaged 23.3 points per game last season, but that number dropped to 18.7 in games Richardson started. His development will determine whether this ranking is too harsh or too generous. Number 24, New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers' return from Achilles surgery at age 41 is unprecedented territory. In limited action last season, he looked like a quarterback feeling the effects of both age and injury, posting his lowest yards per attempt, 6.8, since becoming a starter. The Jets' offensive line has been completely rebuilt after allowing 64 sacks last season, but chemistry takes time. At skill positions, they're well stocked. Garrett Wilson is elite, while Davante Adams' arrival reunites Rodgers with his favorite target. Breece Hall is dynamic when healthy, though his efficiency dropped last season. New offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett has history with Rodgers, but was a disaster in Denver. The Jets averaged just 15.8 points per game in 2024, and while that number will improve with Rodgers, expecting elite production from a 41-year-old coming off major surgery is optimistic at best. Number 23, Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniels' electric rookie season, 3,600 passing yards, 800 rushing yards, and 28 total touchdowns, gives Washington hope after years of quarterback purgatory. The offensive line remains a work in progress, ranking 28th in pass block win rate and allowing 50 sacks last season. Their receiving core is promising but unproven. Terry McLaurin is established, but Zach Ertz is aging and rookie Luke McCaffrey is a project. The running game is committee-based with Brian Robinson Jr. and Austin Eckler splitting carries. New offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury's air raid concepts mesh well with Daniel's skill set, but growing pains are inevitable. The Commanders averaged 19.4 points per game last season, and while Daniels provides a higher ceiling, this offense still has too many holes to rank higher. Number 22, Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams' rookie season has been a mixed bag, flashes of brilliance overshadowed by rookie mistakes and poor protection. Through 8 games, his 10 touchdowns against 8 interceptions and 58% completion rate reflect the learning curve. Chicago's offensive line ranks 25th in pass block win rate, allowing 33 sacks already this season. Their skill positions are a strength. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and Rome Odunze form one of the league's best receiving trios, while DeAndre Swift provides explosiveness in the backfield. Offensive coordinator Shane Waldron's scheme has been simplified to help Williams develop, but growing growing pains are evident. The Bears are averaging 20.1 points per game, and while Williams' ceiling is enormous, this offense isn't yet greater than the sum of its parts. Number 21, Seattle Seahawks. Geno Smith's regression continued last season. His completion percentage, yards per attempt, and touchdown rate all declined for the second straight year. The Seahawks offensive line is improved, but still ranked 22nd in pass block win rate. Their receiving core remains a strength with DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and Jackson Smith and Jigba, though Lockett has shown signs of decline at 32. Kenneth Walker III is explosive but inconsistent, averaging 4.1 yards per carry last season. New offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb brings an innovative college scheme, but the transition has been bumpy, with Seattle averaging just 21.5 points per game, down from 23.6 last season. Smith's limitations as a quarterback ultimately capped this offense's ceiling, despite talent at skill positions. Number 20, Pittsburgh Steelers. Russell Wilson's career resurrection in Pittsburgh has been the NFL's biggest surprise. After 2 disastrous seasons in Denver, Wilson has thrown 18 touchdowns against just 5 interceptions through 9 games. The Steelers' offensive line remains below average, ranking 21st in both pass and run block win rate. Their receiving core lacks star power but not production. George Pickens, Van Jefferson, and rookie Roman Wilson have been efficient if not explosive. Najee Harris continues to be volume dependent, averaging just 3.9 yards per carry. Offensive coordinator Arthur Smith has simplified the scheme, emphasizing play action and quick releases to mask Wilson's declining mobility. The Steelers are averaging 23.2 points per game, up from 17.9 last season, but this offense still lacks the firepower to crack the top half of the league. Number 19, Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson's career trajectory continues to plummet. After another season-ending injury, his 32 touchdowns against 23 interceptions in 24 games as a Brown represents one of the worst returns on investment in NFL history. Jameis Winston has been serviceable in relief, throwing 14 touchdowns and 9 interceptions in 7 starts. The Browns' offensive line is solid when healthy, ranking 14th in pass block win rate. Their skill positions are top-heavy. Amari Cooper remains productive, but depth is concerning after Jerry Jeudy's disappointing season. Nick Chubb's return from knee surgery has been inspiring, but limited, with his yards per carry dropping from 5.3 to 4.2. Offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey has opened up the playbook with Winston, and the Browns are averaging 22.8 points per game, up from 21.2 last season. This offense has talent, but lacks consistency to rank higher. Number 18, Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence's development has stalled. His 24 touchdowns against 14 interceptions last season represented minimal growth from his sophomore campaign. The Jaguars' offensive line is improved, but still ranked 19th in pass block win rate. Their receiving core took a hit with Calvin Ridley's departure, though Christian Kirk and rookie Brian Thomas Jr. have formed a solid duo. Travis Etienne remains efficient but injury-prone, missing 4 games last season. New offensive coordinator Press Taylor has simplified the scheme, emphasizing quick releases and designed runs for Lawrence. The Jaguars averaged 21.6 points per game last season, down from 23.8 in 2023, and Lawrence's inconsistency prevents this offense from reaching its potential. The talent is there for a top 15 unit, but execution has been lacking. Number 17, Los Angeles Rams. Matthew Stafford continues to defy age and back injuries, throwing 26 touchdowns against 11 interceptions last season at 37. The Rams' offensive line is a concern, ranking 23rd in pass block win rate and allowing 52 sacks. Their skill positions are top-heavy. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua form an elite receiving duo when healthy, but both have missed time with injuries. The running game is committee-based with Kyren Williams and Blake Corum splitting carries. Sean McVay's scheme remains innovative, though they've become more conservative as Stafford ages. The Rams averaged 23.8 points per game last season, and while Stafford's experience and McVay's creativity provide a high floor, the offensive line limitations and injury concerns at receiver prevent them from ranking higher. Number 16, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield's career renaissance continues in Tampa, where he threw 31 touchdowns against 10 interceptions last season. The Buccaneers' offensive line is average, ranking 16th in pass block win rate. Their receiving core remains elite. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin both topped 1,000 yards last season, while rookie Jermaine Burton has added explosiveness. Rachaad White is efficient if not spectacular, averaging 4.3 yards per carry. Offensive coordinator Liam Cohen has tailored the scheme to Mayfield's strengths, emphasizing play action and deep shots off max protection. The Buccaneers averaged 24.1 points per game last season, and while Mayfield has exceeded expectations, questions remain about his ceiling against elite defenses. This offense is good, but not great, which perfectly encapsulates their middle-of-the-pack ranking. Number 15, Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love's breakout season, 32 touchdowns against 11 interceptions, established him as one of the league's ascending stars. The Packers' offensive line is solid, ranking 12th in pass block win rate despite injuries. Their receiving core is young but talented. Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, and Romeo Doubs all have big playability but struggle with consistency. Josh Jacobs was a significant addition at running back, though his 4.1 yards per carry last season was a career low. Offensive coordinator Adam Stenovich's scheme maximizes Love's arm talent with vertical concepts and creative pre-snap motion. The Packers averaged 25.6 points per game last season, and while Love's ceiling is enormous, the youth at skill positions and questions about Jacobs' effectiveness keep them from ranking higher. This offense has top 10 potential but needs more consistency. Number 14, New Orleans Saints. Derek Carr silenced critics last season with 25 touchdowns against 8 interceptions and a career-high 68.4% completion rate. The Saints' offensive line is solid, ranking 13th in pass block win rate. Their skill positions are among the league's best. Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed form a dynamic receiving duo, while Alvin Kamara remains productive despite age concerns. Offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak has modernized the scheme, incorporating more play action and RPOs than his predecessor. The Saints averaged 24.7 points per game last season, and while Carr has limitations as a quarterback, the supporting cast and scheme maximize his effectiveness. This offense is greater than the sum of its parts, but lacks the elite quarterback play to crack the top 10. Number 13, Atlanta Falcons. Kirk Cousins' return from Achilles surgery has been impressive. 22 touchdowns against 7 interceptions through 10 games. The Falcons' offensive line is underrated, ranking 11th in pass block win rate and 8th in run blocking. Their skill positions are loaded. Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Darnell Mooney form one of the league's most versatile receiving trios, while Bijan Robinson has emerged as a true 3-down back. Offensive coordinator Zach Robinson has implemented a Ram-style scheme that emphasizes play action and zone running concepts. The Falcons are averaging 25.3 points per game, up from 18.9 last season, and while Cousins' age and injury history create some concern, this offense has the pieces to be even better than their current ranking suggests. Number 12, Los Angeles Chargers. Justin Herbert's efficiency has reached new heights under Jim Harbaugh. 24 touchdowns against just 6 interceptions with a career-high 69.7% completion rate through 11 games. The Chargers' offensive line is improved, ranking 15th in pass block win rate after finishing 27th last season. Their receiving core remains a work in progress. Ladd McConkey has been a revelation as a rookie, but depth is concerning after Mike Williams' departure. J.K. Dobbins has revitalized his career, averaging 5.1 yards per carry when healthy. Offensive coordinator Greg Roman has implemented a run-heavy approach that's opened up play-action opportunities for Herbert. The Chargers are averaging 24.9 points per game, up from 20.4 last season, and Herbert's elite talent combined with Harbaugh's proven system gives this offense significant upside despite limitations at receiver. Number 11, Minnesota Vikings. Sam Darnold's career resurrection has been remarkable. 27 touchdowns against 9 interceptions through 11 games after years as a punchline. The Vikings' offensive line is average, ranking 17th in pass block win rate. Their skill positions are elite. Justin Jefferson remains the league's best receiver, while Jordan Addison and TJ Hawkinson provide reliable secondary options. Aaron Jones has been efficient when healthy, averaging 4.8 yards per carry. Offensive coordinator Wes Phillips has simplified the scheme, emphasizing quick releases and designed rollouts to maximize Darnold's effectiveness. The Vikings are averaging 26.1 points per game, and while questions remain about Darnold's sustainability, the supporting cast and scheme have created one of the league's most surprising offensive turnarounds. Number 10, Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts has rebounded from a disappointing 2024-29 total touchdowns against 8 turnovers through 11 games. The Eagles' offensive line remains elite, ranking 3rd in both pass and run block win rate despite Jason Kelce's retirement. Their skill positions are top tier. A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith form the league's best receiving duo, while Saquon Barkley has been rejuvenated, averaging 5.0 yards per carry. New offensive coordinator Kellen Moore has diversified the scheme, reducing reliance on the QB sneak, while incorporating more pre-snap motion and play action. The Eagles are averaging 27.3 points per game, up from 25.5 last season, and while Hurts still has limitations as a passer, the supporting cast and scheme maximize his effectiveness. This offense has few weaknesses, but lacks the consistency of the top units. Number 9, Miami Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa's efficiency remains elite. 28 touchdowns against 7 interceptions with a league-leading 70.2% completion rate through 11 games. The Dolphins' offensive line is improved, ranking 10th in pass block win rate after finishing 20th last season. Their skill positions are explosive. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle remain the league's fastest receiving duo, while Devon Achane has emerged as one of the NFL's most efficient backs, averaging 5.5 yards per carry. Offensive coordinator Frank Smith has maintained the motion-heavy scheme that maximizes Tagovailoa's accuracy and quick release. The Dolphins are averaging 27.8 points per game, and while Tagovailoa's injury history and limitations outside structure create some concern, this offense's ceiling is as high as any when firing on all cylinders. Number 8, Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott continues to produce at an elite level, 30 touchdowns against 9 interceptions through 11 games. The Cowboys' offensive line has regressed, ranking 18th in pass block win rate after years in the top 5. Their skill positions remain strong. CeeDee Lamb is a legitimate superstar, while Brandon Cooks provides a reliable second option. The running game has struggled without Ezekiel Elliott, with Rico Dowdle averaging just 4.1 yards per carry. Offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer has maintained the pass-heavy approach that maximizes Prescott's strengths. The Cowboys are averaging 27.9 points per game, and while the offensive line regression and running game concerns are troubling, Prescott's elite play and Lamb's dominance keep this offense in the top 10. Number 7, Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow's return to form has been spectacular. 31 touchdowns against 8 interceptions through 11 games after an injury-plagued 2024. The Bengals' offensive line remains a concern, ranking 20th in pass block win rate. Their skill positions are elite. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins form one of the league's best receiving duos, while rookie Bucky Irving has added explosiveness to the backfield. Offensive coordinator Dan Pitcher has maintained the aggressive downfield approach that maximizes Burrow's arm talent and anticipation. The Bengals are averaging 28.1 points per game, up from 22.8 last season. And while the offensive line limitations create some concern, Burrow's elite talent and connection with Chase and Higgins give this offense one of the highest ceilings in the league. Number 6, Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen remains a force of nature. 35 total touchdowns against 10 turnovers through 11 games. The Bills' offensive line is solid, ranking 9th in pass block win rate. Their receiving core has been completely rebuilt. Khalil Shakir has emerged as a reliable target, while rookie Keon Coleman and veteran Curtis Samuel have formed a solid supporting cast. James Cook has developed into a true 3-down back, averaging 4.7 yards per carry. New offensive coordinator Joe Brady has diversified the scheme, reducing Allen's designed runs while incorporating more play action and quick game concepts. The Bills are averaging 28.3 points per game, and while the receiver overhaul created some early growing pains, Allen's elite talent and Brady's creative scheme have maintained this offense's place among the league's best. Number 5, Detroit Lions. Jared Goff's renaissance under Dan Campbell continues, 29 touchdowns against 7 interceptions through 11 games. The Lions' offensive line is elite, ranking second in both pass and run block win rate. Their skill positions are diverse. Amon-Ra St. Brown remains one of the league's most reliable receivers, while Jameson Williams has finally emerged as a deep threat in his 3rd season. David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs form the league's most complementary backfield duo. Offensive coordinator Ben Johnson's scheme remains innovative, incorporating multiple tight end sets and creative pre-snap motion to create mismatches. The Lions are averaging 28.7 points per game, and while Goff has limitations as a quarterback, the supporting cast and scheme maximize his effectiveness. This offense is greater than the sum of its parts. Number 4, Houston Texans. CJ Stroud has avoided the sophomore slump 32 touchdowns against 6 interceptions through 11 games. The Texans' offensive line is improved, ranking 7th in pass block win rate after finishing 24th last season. Their skill positions are loaded. Stefon Diggs and Nico Collins form one of the league's most productive receiving duos, while Joe Mixon has been rejuvenated, averaging 4.6 yards per carry. Offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick's scheme remains innovative, incorporating Shanahan concepts with vertical elements that maximize Stroud's arm talent. The Texans are averaging 29.1 points per game, up from 22.2 last season, and Stroud's elite processing and accuracy combined with improved weapons give this offense legitimate Super Bowl potential. Number 3, Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson continues to redefine quarterback play, 38 total touchdowns against 7 turnovers through 11 games. The Ravens' offensive line is solid, ranking 8th in pass block win rate. Their skill positions have been upgraded. Zay Flowers has emerged as a legitimate WR1 in his 2nd season, while rookie Devontae Walker has added a vertical element. Derrick Henry remains a force at 31, averaging 4.8 yards per carry. Offensive coordinator Todd Monken has further evolved the scheme, incorporating more empty formations and downfield concepts while maintaining the rushing attack that's been Baltimore's identity. The Ravens are averaging 29.8 points per game, and Jackson's dual threat ability combined with improved weapons and innovative scheme make this offense nearly impossible to defend when clicking. Number 2, San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy has silenced the system quarterback critics. 30 touchdowns against 5 interceptions with a league-leading 9.1 yards per attempt through 11 games. The 49 ERZ offensive line is solid, ranking 6th in run block win rate and 14th in pass protection. Their skill positions remain the league's most versatile. Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and George Kittle form an unmatched quartet of weapons. Offensive coordinator Brian Griese has maintained Kyle Shanahan's motion-heavy scheme while incorporating more downfield elements to capitalize on Purdy's improved deep ball. The 49 ERs are averaging 30.2 points per game, and while questions remain about Purdy's ceiling, the supporting cast and scheme create a nearly perfect offensive environment. This offense has no weaknesses when healthy. Number 1, Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes remains the gold standard, 33 touchdowns against 6 interceptions through 11 games. The Chiefs' offensive line is elite, ranking 4th in pass block win rate. Their skill positions have been completely rebuilt. Xavier Worthy has added a vertical element as a rookie, while Rashee Rice has emerged as a reliable possession receiver in his 2nd season. Isaiah Pacheco remains one of the league's most physical runners, averaging 4.5 yards per carry. Andy Reid's scheme continues to evolve, incorporating more pre-snap motion and RPO concepts to counter the too high safety looks that troubled them in previous seasons. The Chiefs are averaging 30.7 points per game, up from 21.8 last season, and Mahomes' generational talent combined with Reid's innovative scheme and improved weapons make this the league's most complete offense. The gap between #1 and #2 is wider than it's been in years. The biggest risers from last season are clearly the Texans, who jumped from #18 to #4 on the back of Stroud's development and the Diggs acquisition. The Lions continue their ascent, climbing from #8 to #5 as Goff and Johnson's partnership reaches its peak. The most dramatic fallers are the Jets, who dropped from #11 to #24 as Rodgers' return hasn't matched the hype. And the Commanders, who fell from hash 14 to hash 23 despite Daniel's promising rookie campaign. The league's offensive landscape continues to evolve, with innovative schemes and dual-threat quarterbacks dominating the top 10, while traditional pocket passers increasingly find themselves in the middle of the pack. As we head into the playoff push, these rankings will surely shift, but the elite offenses have separated themselves from the pack. If you enjoyed this, I'm going to be posting a lot here, so it would mean a lot if you subscribed. Thanks for watching.